calls today for Q106 Farm Director Pam Jahnke. In the next segment, if you have a question for Pam, the number is 270-9933.
We'll remind you of that in just a little bit. But first, we wanted to invite Pam to talk about the challenges that our Wisconsin dairy farmers are currently facing. And before we talk about that, welcome back. You've been gone for 2 months.
Well, a month.
A month.
But
What
feels like forever. So it's old lady maintenance, quite honestly. I broke, somewhere along the way, Farm Babe broke a little bone on the top of my foot, but farm kids spit on it, rub dirt on it, keep going, lace your boots tighter, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Well, the doctor said, if you keep that up, it's going to turn into arthritis, and I'm not going to be able to fix it. So you better fix it now. Well, I want to do it before the snow that we just saw shows up.
You're a little scooter.
I'm on a scooter. I'm mobile. I was out at World Dairy Expo and that, but it's not my mode of transportation that I prefer. So, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll be back to everything on normal. All I've been told is behave myself.
Yes.
Don't push it because you can make it so much worse.
Exactly.
And you and I have been talking about this.
I feel your pain.
And Buck was the chauffeur today.
Buck is hiding around the corner.
So let's talk about what's going on with our farmers. Do you think it's an overstatement to say that our Wisconsin dairy farmers are in a crisis? How would you describe what's going on?
It's not just Wisconsin, it's any dairy farm. It's any farm, quite honestly. They are all in crisis. Doesn't matter if it's corn, beans, cattle, or dairy. But dairy does seem to be the hardest hit because we are a 365-day commitment. Cows got to be milked, people have to be out there to do that, and the bills still have to get paid. Our milk price has improved going into the fourth quarter of 2019, thank goodness. But the catch is now we still have Mother Nature working against us. I just got done doing a radio interview talking about how are we going to manage all the manure if these saturated fields don't get a chance to dry out. We're delayed by 2 to 3 weeks as far as our corn or soybeans are concerned, being ready for the harvest. Well, in Wisconsin, we don't get that kind of time to stretch it out. So there's a lot of elements that are working against them. And one thing I do want to remind people is, I hate to say it in context to agriculture, but October is Suicide Prevention Month for a good reason. We got so many things that are pressing down on our farmers. So if you are a neighbor to a farmer, if you've seen them in church, you see them at the grocery store, your kids go to school with a farm family, please take a moment and tell them that you appreciate them, that you're thinking about them, bake them some cookies, drop a note in the mailbox if you don't want to meet them. Tell them how important they are to your community. It's amazing what that simple gesture can do. I'll take a note in my mailbox versus 2 days of dry weather. Now my guys are going to say that's not true. But, you know, that can make a big difference when somebody's having a very, very bad day.
Is there any hope for the small dairy farmer in Wisconsin?
Yes, there is. You know, everybody got all carried away with Secretary Perdue last week in Wisconsin. The only phrase you heard was, get big or get out. That is not what he was talking about. He used his own farm as an example. He said, my dad had 2 kids he put through college on 318 acres in Georgia. You wouldn't be able to do that today. When's the last time your health care insurance went down? When's the last time your electric bill or anything else, property taxes went down? Just doesn't happen. Kids' schooling has not got any cheaper. Farms have to kind of think about how they're going to take care of living expenses, and many of them have decided that they're slowly getting a little bit bigger. That doesn't mean going from 500 to 3,000 cows, folks. It means simply going up a couple gradients so maybe your son and daughter can get involved in the farm and still be able to have a quality of life. It's just about scaling up. We've been doing it in agriculture since I was a sprout. It's just that now, whenever anybody talks about it, and I appreciate the attention to the subject, because agriculture doesn't get attention. You know, we either get attention because we're on the dole or we get attention because we're flooding down the river. You need to pay attention to the dynamics that are impacting our farm families. That's what's going to be with us long after prices change and rebound.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry for Wisconsin.
Indeed, indeed.
Right.
We are the industry. We are the #1 industry. Hello, people. It's not manufacturing. It's not. It is agriculture. And I can, if I had an hour and a half, I can tell every one of you how you depend on Wisconsin agriculture. So talking about it and letting those farmers know you're with them is important.
Yes, it definitely is.
Speaking of talking about it, now it's your turn to talk to Pam.
When we come back, if you have a question that you'd like to talk to Pam about, the number to call is 270-9933. Call now. Pam will stay right here, and she'll take.
Where's she going?
Can't go anywhere.
Where's she going?
She'll take your calls when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.